Hi, everybody. It's Tamara from Moogly, and we are live, hopefully, everywhere. It is 11 a.m. on the 5th of December, 2024. So, thank you so much for joining me today. Yep, I can see we're live now. So, I've got the lives in front of me, so I'll be able to answer your comments and questions as we're live. If you're watching this afterwards, thanks so much for continuing to watch. And just go ahead and leave your questions and comments in the comments, and I'll try and come back and answer those later. So, once again, thank you for joining me. I'm Tamara from Moogly, if you're just wondering in. And I'm just going to spend some time today talking about what's been happening on Moogly lately, things that are happening in the future, a few sneak peeks, and some classes and things that you'll be able to catch up on. Later. There's just been so much going on, and there's always lots to share. This month and last month, and into next month, we're continuing. We've got months packed full. Like, we have so much to share. I'm having trouble squeezing it all in, especially before the holidays. Because, of course, I want to take a little time off too. And I hope you're able to take some time off as well. So let's go ahead and get right to it. What's been going on Moogly? So, right now, this isn't actually on Moogly. This is on your inspirations, but I wanted to be sure to point it out right off the bat. It is Giving Week at Yarnspirations. Now, you might have heard of Giving Tuesday before. I think it only started really a few years ago. I kind of think it was a reaction to Cyber Monday, where everybody kind of starts doing their Christmas online shopping. I say starts. We've all been doing it probably for a while, right? I know I have. But Cyber Monday is this big event. Well, Giving Tuesday is meant to be a day where you kind of do something for charity or give to charity, give back in some way. And Yarn Inspirations has set up the most brilliant, easy way to do that I've ever heard of. They have over 11,000 free crochet, knit, craft patterns on their website. It just jumped another 1,000 because they're always uploading new ones. And for the next week, it's through December 8th. I'm assuming probably 11:59. We'll say Eastern time, most likely. That would be the time when it ends. But from now till then, every time you download a free pattern on Yarn Inspirations, they will donate towards Warm Up America. And those donations are going to be tracked on a counter on their website. So you can see your donations grow right there. And literally, all you have to do is download free patterns. And we can all do that. Absolutely. There's, like I say, with 11,000 to choose from, you're sure to find some you love, some you like. Download them, do whatever you want with them. You don't have to make them. Just by the act of downloading these free patterns, you will be contributing to Warm Up America. And Warm Up America, if you're not aware, is an absolutely fantastic organization. They donate blankets, they help put blankets together, there's volunteers. Um, there's also hats, mittens, scarves they do in the winter time. I know they've been really working hard on helping the people out in Asheville and people who have been affected by some of the natural disasters this year. And heavens knows there's been enough of those. So it's just a really wonderful thing that you can contribute for. You don't have to spend a dime, just seconds of your time. Click, click, pick the pattern, click that blue download now, download free pattern button. I think it says download free pattern. It's blue. There's a kit underneath if you want to go ahead and buy the yarn and hook and everything, but the pattern itself, that big blue button, is completely free. Hit the button, it'll download. Well, it'll open up and then you can download it totally free. Again, it's just such a great and simple and easy way to donate. Again, all it needs is a seconds of your time. So I wanted to make sure to really highlight that going on this week. So moving on to what's been happening on Moogly, we have finished up Moogly Crochet Along 2024, by which I mean we finished all the squares. Definitely not all of us have put our blankets together, myself included. I will be working on that coming up here soon, but I haven't quite started it yet. So I still have Block 24 separate to show you here. This one is by Be Bold with Tiffany, and Tiffany is a new designer to our Crochet Along this year. You may be familiar, Tiffany Tolbert. She works a lot with Michael, the crochet crowd. I got a chance to meet her when we were both teachers at a Jimmy Bean's wool event last year. So she was really nice, and I just thought, gosh, it would be great to have her as part of the Crochet Along. Now, her site's a little different. She doesn't really have a blog, so she put this up as a free Ravelry download. So love that, but it's just a really fun pattern. She did 3 big blocks of color through hers. You can see I alternated throughout, really highlighting my final scrapgan color for the year here, the boysenberry, I believe it was. And so this is what it looks like from the front, and this is what it looks like from the back. You can see I chose to carry my yarn because I did so much color switching. If you do your colors differently, of course, you may or may not carry your yarn rather across the back. But At first glance, it looks pretty simple, but when you look closely, you can see these are all crossed front post treble crochet stitches. So it really actually has a lot of texture. And again, it's a very simple square. It's great for traveling. That's one of the fun things about having this one last. I think it was a fun one to print out and kind of work on calmly in between everything else. But this is our last one for 2024. So that means you've got the rest of this year to go ahead and put your squares together in whatever shape or form you want to do. No rules. You don't have to do a 4x6 blanket. That's what I'll do. But you don't have to do that. You can do smaller blankets, pillows, whatever you like. And then we will kick off 20 Moogly Crochet Along 2025 in January. I've already got it on the books. I've already got my designers lined up. I'm in the process of getting my very last one right now, I hope. And yeah, so there's going to be some old designers from previous years, new designers as well. And again, I'm just really excited to be coming back for 2025. It's going to be pretty much the same setup. So don't worry, no major changes or anything. The dates are going to be pretty much the same. We're going to stick to Thursdays, ending the day before American Thanksgiving. I think that's a great day to just kind of wrap everything up, give everybody a chance to print out the pattern, do whatever they're going to do, pack up their stuff before they hit the road if they're traveling that weekend. So Moogly Crochet Along 2025 will be back, but we've got to finish up 2024 first with that last square and then putting our projects together. So if you haven't yet, if you've been working along, it's a great time to join that Moogly Crochet Along Facebook group, the Moogly Afghan Crochet Along group, because people are going to be showing off their finished blankets. They're already starting, and they are just so beautiful and so inspiring to see. And you can really get some great ideas for the colors you might want to use next year. Granted, it's going to be different squares. I don't know what the squares are going to look like. I'm betting 23 out of the 24 designers don't know what those squares are going to look like just yet. But, that's the adventure of it. We're all on this adventure together, myself included. And it just is one of the things that makes it so much fun. I think everybody learns something while they follow around along every year. I know I learn new tips, tricks, techniques every year when I'm making the squares. So it's just a really great thing, no matter your skill level, to go ahead and join in. And I hope you'll consider it for next year. Maybe after all the holiday madness is over if you're really busy right now. So that's what's going on with the crochet along. Like I say, later this, actually, I believe, will it be at the end of this month? I think the end of this month, beginning of January sometimes. I've got more lives lined up, but I'll do another live for sure and talk about the crochet along exclusively. So thank you so much for tuning in, watching live. Hi, Shannon and Julia, Chatika, everybody else who's watching live. Be sure to hit those heart buttons, thumbs up, wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, to let the algorithms know that we are live right now. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So what else is going on? There is, of course, a brand new pattern on mooglyblog.com, the bear squish, right here. This has to have been one of the most requested animals for the squish line of animals, I guess you could say. And here it is, finally. Now you can see I made a polar bear version. I just happen to have a lot more. I had two different shades of white that kind of worked here. I think this one was vintage white, and this one was birch. Those are what I happen to have on my shelf. If I had two shades of brown, I would have made a teddy bear. Same pattern, teddy, polar, whichever you want to make. You can make them both. You've just got to pick the right yarn colors. I had one brown that I thought would work left over from my turkey squish. I had the taupe. I think this would be a good one mixed with maybe a lighter or even a darker color, depending on the look you're going for. And of course, go crazy. I've seen, we've all seen teddy bears in the store that are bright pink and green and blue. So you don't have to stick to the traditional colors either. But all of them are made, like all my squishes, all the full-size squishes, are made with Bernat blanket. So standard Bernat blanket, you could use some of the fun versions if you want to, but it's the 6 weight that I use for these. There's a few different thicknesses out there of Bernat blanket now. So this one uses the bog standard one, the one we're all used to. This one right here, the one we've all seen in stores and online. So another fun squish, lots of fun. The pieces are all movable, so if you want to change the face a little bit, you can, absolutely. Move the placement of the eyes and the snout, nose, and all that, and you're going to get very different looks. So that's one of the fun things about this guy. This is also probably up there with one of the simpler squishes to make. The body's all one color, as you can see, and I tried to make them different, but it just worked out best. The ears, the arms, and the legs are all the same. So really, very, very simple pattern. If you haven't made one of the squishes before, this is probably a great introductory one, and just another squishy friend. So it's got really great reception so far. Thank you all so much for all the love for the bear squish. The video tutorial for that should be out tomorrow. So Jeff is working on editing that. He was working on it last night, and I'm sure he'll be working on it today, and that should come out tomorrow. So thank you all so much for all the love for the bear. Thank you so much, you guys. Okay, so what else has been going on Moogly? There is the Karen Crochet 3D Star Throw tutorial. Long, lot of words there. But this was that beautiful blanket. Unfortunately, I don't have the whole blanket. I haven't had time to make that whole blanket. I've been going through my own stuff too. But it's that really gorgeous red and white star blanket that's on Yarn Inspirations. Absolutely stunning. I think I put the pattern away. Unfortunately, I was going to show up the pattern. But it's a really, really gorgeous blanket. It's very dynamic. It's got a lot of movement and shape to it. It's kind of hard to describe. You have to see it. It's made out of these little triangles, so it's very 3D, hence the name. And it was just such a stunner. When I shared it, Yarn Inspirations came out with it. I shared it on Facebook and a couple other places, and people were just enthralled, like me. So of course we had to make right and left-handed tutorials. So those are up now on the blog as well. And there's some great questions on the YouTube video for that. Like I really, people are getting creative with it with other colors. We talked about how to make the motifs even bigger. And somebody even mentioned trying to turn it into a tree skirt, which I think is going to be stunning. I'm just going to be absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to see that. So, oh, thank you so much, Maggie. Yay. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so what else is happening? I have refreshed the 10 free Christmas crochet ornaments or crochet Christmas ornaments blog post. So that was an older post that people still love to this day. So I went back, freshened it up a little bit, made sure all the links were working, replaced the ones that aren't, and now it is all set and gorgeous. So there we go. Then we also refreshed the branching out shawlette, which is a free pattern on mooglyblog.com. And it just needed a little bit of love, so that has been updated as well. Then there's the giveaways. There's always some fun giveaways going on, and we had a new one just start yesterday. Super excited about, as always, the Babé Crochet hat templates. I just put a new video up yesterday on both TikTok and Instagram, demonstrating really quickly how these work. So if you haven't seen that yet, definitely check it out. I'm going to go back and embed it, I think, in the giveaway as well. I just haven't had a chance to do that just yet today. But these are absolutely fantastic. They're a great way. You can see all the different sizes. You can use these to make hats in. Let me hold this up here. All of these, is it going to focus? There we go. All these different sizes. So you can see 0 to 3 months all the way through extra large adult. They give the measurements in both inches and centimeters. And then you see what template size. And it's kind of hard to see online. It's really easy to see in person. It's really hard to get it shown on camera because it's punched in. But there's a 1 right there. It really doesn't want to show on camera, or does it? There. Oh, I hold it just the right angle. We can kind of see. There we are. You see that 2 punched in right there at the bottom? Like I say, really easy to see in person, but the glare on the camera really wants to hide it. But you can pick out the tool you want to use, and it's just such an easy way to make a simple hat. If you're like somebody who doesn't necessarily want to pull out a complicated pattern or worry about getting gauge, sometimes you just want to grab some yarn and start crocheting. These make it super easy. Great, especially if you like to make like little hats. You've got, little leftover bits of yarn. Literally yesterday, the hat that I made for that video, it was a little one. Like a little, it would have been, well, let's see, I used template 2, so it would have been for a 3 to 6 month old. And that one took me 5-10 minutes maybe. Took longer than that to edit the video. So these are an amazing tool. They've just added Spanish and French instructions, I want to say. And now there's also a PDF option, which is really cool. So if like, say you don't want to pay for the plastic ones. Now, granted, I do recommend getting this set because this is a buy it once, buy it for life product. This will last me forever, and I intend to use them forever. But if you prefer, if say you only make hats in a couple sizes, you can get the PDF version and just like get some really nice cardstock, or if you've got a Cricut, you could get a little fancier with it and cut out just those sizes you want. So I love that there's other options now as well. And I just love the product. That's why we do so many giveaways. I think it's really just a fantastic product. So I wanted to keep promoting that and keep sharing it. We also, of course, have a yarn giveaway. We always have a yarn giveaway going if I can help it. And right now it is for this one. This is Bernat Blanket Perfect Phasing. So this is another Bernat blanket. This is the same thickness as the one I used for the bear, the same thickness and the same yardage as far as that goes as we get here. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it would be, but this is the same yardage in these 2 put-ups. The difference is obviously this is in a cake, not in a skein, which is lovely, but also we've got this color changing action happening here. And this is not a bunch of different colors tied together. This is one continuous strand of yarn that gradually changes from the dark purple to the light purple or whatever color it is. It comes in all sorts of colors: pink, black, blue, green, just naming the colors off the top of my head here. But they have the darker color inside and they all fade towards the outside. Now, the outside isn't pure white typically, it's got a little bit of that tint to it. That's a little bit more obvious with the gray one, the black gray one. That one stays really gray on the outside. This one does get pretty darn close. You can see this is a vintage white, so it's gonna look yellower, but you can see when you hold it up to white, you see there's a little bit of a purple tint to it, but it is just a really, really fun yarn to work with. Like I say, it's a number 6, it's the same easy care and everything else as you're used to. Get that facing around the right way there we go. Everything else you're used to with Bernat blanket. Like I say, your 300 grams, it's your 6 weight, it's Oeko-Tex certified. Get my finger to come around the right way, there we go. That means it's been tested against, like, all these harmful chemicals. It's safe to use for your children, your babies, your pets, yourself. Really lovely stuff. Like I say, it's a Bernat blanket you know and love, but look at that perfect color gradient. So we're giving away some of this yarn right now, and I'm actually using it to make the next pattern that's going to be coming out on mooglyblog.com. So the pattern using this, I'm going to give you a sneak peek here at the end, and that will be out next Thursday. If you've been watching my other social medias, you've probably seen a couple sneak peeks already. I'm just super excited about this. It's a Tunisian pattern. It is going to be using, the hook just rolled onto the floor, one sec. Here I am. Oh, and then I caught it on my cowl. There we go. All right, so this is the hook that I'm going to be using for my next pattern, or I have used, I should say. I'm finished it. You guys haven't made it yet. This is a USP 16 11.5 millimeter. Now, you'll see this is a double-ended Tunisian hook. I did not need to use a double-ended Tunisian hook. This just happens to be the hook that I had in this size. So all you need is an 11.5 millimeter crochet hook. You do want to make sure that it's got enough of the shaft, meaning the straight part of the hook, to fit about 6 or 7 loops, well, 7, you need 7 loops of Bernat blanket on. But that really only takes, you can squish them in. It really only takes about that much length. We'll say we can come back up here. This is where the tapering ends. So you could get it in a hook with about that much shaft on it. So if you don't have to have a double-ended Tunisian hook. I didn't use it as a double-ended Tunisian hook. I just used it as a regular hook. It just happened to have a nice long shaft for me. So whatever you have that will work like that will work for this pattern. If you don't have a hook this big, but you want to try this out, you can try it with a thinner yarn. The thing is, you want to go up a few hook sizes when you're making a Tunisian pattern generally. Now, all advice in crochet is general and there's always exceptions, right? You're trying for different kind of fabrics, there are going to be exceptions to the rule. This label recommends an 8 millimeter crochet hook for this yarn. So that would be, let's not go by letters. Let's just talk about millimeters. It'll keep it easier. 8 millimeter crochet hook. I went up to an 11.5. So you can see I went up about 2.5 millimeters. So if you want to try this pattern eventually with a different yarn, you'll want to look at the label and go up a little bit. Go up 1 or 2 sizes and give it a try. See how the fabric looks. The neat thing about this pattern is we kind of make one little section at a time. So you can see how it looks and change your hook size to adjust as necessary. But for this yarn and this weight, this is the hook size I very definitely recommend. It's just going to give you a much easier time making this pattern. If you tried to use an 8 millimeter, I think it would be really tight and honestly become quite stiff. And we don't want that in a blanket, which is what we're making. So that is my little spiel about that. And I'll show you that blanket here in just a few minutes. So yeah, it's kind of a rule breaking Afghan too. I'm very, very excited about it. I'm excited to show you guys. So, of course, we've got one more giveaway also going on right now. We're at 3 at the moment, which is super fun. And this one is wrapping up very soon. This is the Crochet Messy Bun Hats giveaway by Christy Simpson. This thin but to the point book. It gets right into the patterns. You're not buying a book on how to crochet. You're buying a book on how to make these 12 hats. So I love that. I actually just gets right to the point. Love it. Very simple. If you like to wear messy bun hats or you know somebody who does, this is a really fun book. Great if you do craft fairs. I think you could get a lot of different designs out of this. And there's some just fun, really different looking hats. Here we are. There's a page that shows them all right there. So you get an idea of what's inside. It's an inexpensive book. It's only $12.95 according to the label. Probably on sale. Who knows this time of year. But this giveaway is wrapping up soon, so you can take your chances and enter to win it on Moogly as well. So yes, $12.95 for this one right here. Jetta Lee, if that's what you were asking how much it was, that's how much these are. If you were asking how much the how much the hat templates are, I do not have those prices memorized because I do not sell them myself. This says how much it is on it. The hat templates, it depends too where you're ordering them from. She does sell them worldwide. That giveaway is open worldwide for the hat templates. I should point that out. Most of our giveaways are US and Canada only. And right now, Canada Post is on strike. So if you are a Canadian winner, you might have to wait a little while before we're able to mail out your prize. But these are worldwide, and she sells them worldwide. So the price is kind of going to depend, pounds versus dollars, and then their shipping. So I don't want to quote any prices for that specifically. Okay, so that's happening. Before we get to the sneak peek, I want to point out I've got a few future lives coming up. December 11th, which is real soon. I think that is next week. Yes, next week I'm doing a lunch and learn on the Yarnspirations Facebook page, and we will be doing the Red Heart Crochet Sock and Clog Charms. I've already printed out the pattern for myself right here so I can practice making it. This is really fun. Now, even if you don't wear this particular style of shoe, if it's not to your liking, that's fine. This actually makes these hearts, bows, and flower appliques. You don't have to attach them to a shoe. You can attach them to whatever you like. There's actually a better picture of them here on the second page of the pattern. There we are. So just some really fun appliques, and I think this will be a fun lunch and learn. You can see they even have charts for them, and we'll just work those up really quickly together. That's December 11th at 11 a.m. Central Time. So I hope you'll join me for that lunch and learn. That will be on the Yarnspirations Facebook page. And then on December 18th, I'll be back here for another Crochet and Chat with Moogly at 11 a.m. These are all at 11 a.m., just happens to be. December 19th, the very next day, I will be going live on the Yarnspirations TikTok page to review the best patterns of 2024. And then finally, January 8th, this is all I know of so far, January 8th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Central, I'll be doing another TikTok live on the Yarnspirations TikTok page with some new crochet techniques for a new year. Now, new to you. I haven't invented brand new techniques that I'll be showing, but they might be new to you. Some little of the more rare techniques, we'll say. I'll touch on a little bit of Tunisian and I think a little bit of broomstick lace as well. They've got some really beautiful patterns coming out on Yarnspirations featuring both of those techniques. So I think that will be a fun focus for that TikTok live. We'll see if I can throw in one more stitch. We'll see. Okay, so that is all but the blanket for next week. I'm going to give you one more sneak peek first. I'm actually going to sneak in one more sneak peek. Come January, I will be doing a month-long crochet along. I try to do those about once a year, and we just break a pattern up into pieces. I've already designed one version of this pattern. I'm now doing a second version where I've updated it, improved it even more, and we're filming it for the video tutorials. So our crochet along in January will be another shawl. And this is that color of, let me get it right, Karen Colorama Halo, one of the colors that was much requested in a previous video that I did. Really lovely. I've started working it up. It's got some beautiful texture you can see. And I think it's really pretty. And I've got another version in another color, and that will be in January. So we'll be kicking off 2025 with Moogly Crochet Along 2025. I'm participating in somebody else's crochet along, so there'll be a pattern for that. A little bit of selfish crochet for yourself after the holidays. And then we'll have our month-long crochet along as well. So lots and lots to come next month. Before all that, though, next week, I will be revealing my new blanket. After talking to several crochet experts and other people, we finally came up with a name for it. We're going with corner to corner. Oh gosh, let me get this right. Corner to corner Tunisian pixel blanket. Yes. It was a long name. We threw out a lot of other words, but I think this is the best description. Now, I haven't woven in the ends on the back side yet, but bear with me. We'll scooch back here. Gather it all up. This is made with that Bernat. Oh, let me get down here. This is made with that Bernat blanket. perfect phasing that I just showed you. And I am just so pleased. What do you guys think? Look at this. It's like pixels, it's corner to corner. We're making lots of little squares. And the joy of this one is it's all continuous. So if you've done Tunisian before, Tunisian entrelac maybe, or something like that, usually you work across and then break your yarn. With this one, we just keep going. I ended up using, let me grab my chair here. Whoop, where is it? Come back. Okay. I end up using about 5 skeins of yarn. Actually, I used 5 skeins of yarn to make this particular size. And let me tell you, at the end, I had exactly, well, I haven't done it yet, but I know I have exactly 10 ends to weave in. So that means, again, no breaking the yarn until you're done with that skein of yarn. So I love patterns like that. I love the way this one turned out. I think it has some really fun texture to it. Let me hold it up again here. Let me try and get it a little closer to the camera. And you can see that gorgeous texture. And that's created because we're going to be using both sides of the Tunisian fabric. Like I said, it's a little bit of a rule breaker, and I'm super excited to share it all with you. We've already made the video tutorial, so that's in progress as well. I'm going to make sure that the video tutorial for it comes out the very next day because I know that this is a really exciting and different technique, and I am super thrilled to finally be able to share it with you. I've been working on this one for a while. So this one, this size is going to take 5 cakes of Bernat blanket perfect phasing. I do intend, however, to include all the other sizes. The wonderful thing about corner to corner blankets like this, or blankets made with a corner to corner technique, is that it's super, super easy to personalize it, adjust it for size, and really make it any size you want to make it. So I want to include all the standard blanket size instructions in this pattern as well. So if there are specific sizes maybe that you don't usually see, definitely let me know. Drop those in the comments, and I will try to include those sizes in the chart or an additional paragraph if it's after the time as well, because I think this one is going to be, and I'll also include information, of course, on how to customize it for your own size. But I think, yeah, this would be just so easy to adjust to any size. And I think keep pushing my ends back here. I think the border turned out really pretty as well. It's just a simple round of twisted single crochet after a couple rounds of single crochet, but I think it really adds a really beautiful touch to the blanket. So, like I said, I'm just really excited. I think it's beautiful. I hope you guys do too. And I'm really excited to share it with you next month. So, or not next month, next week. So, the pattern should come out on Thursday and the video tutorial should come out Friday. So, that's a week from today. We'll have the new pattern. And then a week from tomorrow, we'll have a new video tutorial. In the meantime, tomorrow, the video tutorial for the bear should go up. So lots of good things to look forward to. Of course, more giveaways coming up. I've got a giveaway for a knit book coming up. So if you're a knitter who's been feeling a little left out, we'll have this giveaway coming up as well. And like I say, I've got, and then 3 more, hitting the microphone here, getting too excited. I've got 3 more patterns after this one coming out in December. So it's going to be a very full month. Definitely stay tuned. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys love it. I'm glad you guys like the color. I'm just so thrilled with how this turned out, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that, and I hope you have a really wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you all again soon. Bye, everybody.